Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, and we're going to talk about Chase Dining to start the new cycle of the Sapphire Reserve. Now, when the Sapphire Reserve relaunched in June of this year, gone were the days of the 10 times points earning on Chase Dining that was associated with Tock, because Tock was purchased by American Express. Because when you partner with a company and you make that company the backbone of your point earning capabilities, it's usually a good idea to, I don't know, own that company and not let one of your biggest competitors in the space undercut you and buy that company out from you. Probably a lesson that JP Morgan should learn, because they haven't learned it with their lounges yet, and they are always on thin ice there. This is not about the lounges and why they should buy the club outright from Collinson Group and just spend billions of dollars to do that and secure that bag, because I could go on for 17 hours about why that's a good idea, a good business idea, and I don't know why Chase refuses to do it, because apparently somebody counting beans over there thinks it's a bad idea, and they are wrong. So anyway, we're going to talk about Chase Dining. And Chase Dining changed with the Sapphire Reserve. Gone are the days of the 10 times earning on Chase from Chase Dining that was set up through Tock. You would set up a reservation, you could prepay, you'd get 10 times points on that meal. You could reserve for 2, you could reserve for 6. It could be a date night, it could be a special occasion with family, it could be whatever. You could earn 10 times points with that program. That program has now expired. Now we're looking at a new concept with Chase Dining and a Chase Dining credit of $150 off semi-annually of meals that are booked through the Chase Sapphire Reserve exclusive tables set up with OpenTable. And people have been having issues with this, and this hasn't even gotten to folks who currently hold the Sapphire Reserve card. Their charges are not being recognized. Folks are taking Chase to small claims court. Going, when you look at Reddit, folks are getting letters back explaining why the charge at the restaurant that is on the list is being denied, because they've at least acknowledged that there's an issue with Toast, where Toast purchases were not coding properly to Chase, and because of the way that Toast codes, when you swipe your card, the Toast charge wasn't showing to Chase that it was actually the restaurant, and therefore they were denying you the ability to get your points. So that's bad, right? But they at least say that there's a fix for the Toast side of things. There's other folks who are having other similar issues and getting straight up denied and getting letters. And there have been some folks who have taken Chase to small claims court for this $150 credit. Now that's silly. It's a point of pride, but whatever. I can understand. But this level of issue with Chase Dining this early on is not good. If you are having issues with the thing, if you're having issues rolling out your exclusive tables with OpenTables, and you're only going to use those restaurants and exclusive tables to give the semi-annual $150 credit, and you're not honoring it, that's a problem, right? And you need to fix that. I don't know if it's just the Toast issue. I don't know if it's this other issue, but like, this credit that should be relatively easy to do, right, is not working. Chase needs to fix this. Chase needs to rework the credit. There are a number of quick fixes that I could give here. So my platform, my channel, here's what I'm going to offer. First and foremost, OpenTables, any OpenTable restaurant in the Visa Dining Collection, not the Chase Sapphire Reserve card member exclusive tables, anything that is in OpenTable's Visa Dining Collection should be eligible for the $150 credit. 2, as long as you have a receipt, produce the receipt that shows that you made the purchase at that restaurant. Have them ask if there's a way to email the receipt on Apple Pay. I don't think there's a way to email the receipt on Apple Pay, so that's stupid. Get a physical printout of the receipt, right? But first and foremost, OpenTable, anything in the Visa Dining Collection should qualify for the $150 credit. That'll expand the number of restaurants, a somewhat amount beyond what it already is, because it's already a really small list. So you're going to expand the number of restaurants, and you're going to at least get some goodwill out of that. I think it should be just an OpenTable credit. We could take it a step further. Make it just an OpenTable credit, because you're already booking through OpenTable for this silly Chase Sapphire Reserve specific credit. Just make it an OpenTable credit. Or let's go a step further. You can go OpenTable, or you can go through restaurants that have any sort of relationship with Chase's The Infatuation platform. Chase bought The Infatuation, which happens to own Zagat. So The Infatuation is like a food and culture magazine. Let's pull up the Infatuation webpage. We're not going to talk about EatsCon. Realistically, you should, if you're a Sapphire Reserve holder, you should probably be like awarded area EatsCon tickets if you so choose to take them. But here's EatsCon, right? You get 25 best pizza places in America, flour tortillas, French dips, and more national trends on our radar. The best barbecue in Texas. All of this, right? Where to eat on your next vacation. They are a what's the eats in wherever you're going. And they have a pretty extensive network of areas. Could be bigger. Accra, Albuquerque, the Amalfi Coast, Copenhagen, the Cotswolds, close to me, and the Catskills. You've got Pittsburgh, both Portlands. You've got Paris, Park City, Fairfield County, Connecticut, Fort Lee, New Jersey, of all places, a lot of Jersey, Hackensack, Hoboken. You've got Hong Kong, the Hudson Valley as a whole, Jackson Hole, Cape Cod, Cancun, Cabo, Valencia, Vancouver, Venice, Lubbock, Texas, Monmouth, New Jersey, for whatever reason, Manchester. I don't know if it's Manchester, England. I don't know if it's Manchester, New Hampshire. We'll find out. Durham could be Durham in England. Who knows? Could be Durham, North Carolina. I could click the button that says Durham and it's Durham, North Carolina. Cool. But you have the Infatuation that has a lot of reach into areas, right? You've got guides, you've got reviews, you've got all of these things. You know what you could do as a Sapphire Reserve holder? If you eat at an Infatuation restaurant, you could get some amount of cash back off of your bill to equal up to $150 per year. Or here's something. Chase owns the Infatuation. If you go to a restaurant that's featured in the Infatuation, and Chase would have to negotiate this kind of on a per basis thing, rolled out built dining at one point. Chase could actually take that and run with it, where restaurants featured in the Infatuation for a quarter, half a year, a full year, whatever. If you're featured in the Infatuation for 2025, you can get 7 points per dollar there instead of the usual 3. When you're going to this new restaurant, if you're traveling to Durham, North Carolina for the first time, Durham's a great city. If you're traveling to the Cotswolds and seeing the Cotswolds for the first time in England, what restaurant should I go to? Infatuation says go here. I went there and got 7 times points per dollar on my Chase Sapphire Reserve. That would at least be like an interesting use of your property, that you own. Get credited back a certain amount of money. And this could be an ongoing thing. Like, you don't have to do just your pool of $300 per year, or you could do up to $300 in dining at Infatuation affiliated restaurants or through OpenTable. There are so many ways you could fix Chase dining. It's mind-blowing, right? First and foremost, everything that is in the Visa dining collection on OpenTable should be eligible for the $150 semi-annual credit. I personally think it should just be $300 a year. Eat anywhere in those restaurants you want, because those restaurants are not exactly cheap. What restaurant is cheap these days? 2, leverage the Infatuation and Zagat either for additional points earning capabilities with the card for featured restaurants there, or a pool of $300 that you could draw from at Infatuation restaurants. So now you're encouraging people to use the Infatuation to take part of their travel. You're going to give them extra points for that. And I don't know, an additional credit if you book through Chase Travel, like book your booking through Chase Travel. You are the biggest bank in America. You should have the capability and the IT infrastructure to make something happen, right? What you're doing right now, unacceptable. If people have to take you to small claims court because of your credit is trash and your credit needs to be fixed, burn your credit to the ground and let's start again. Here are ways to start again. OpenTable, just a general $300 OpenTable credit. Semi-annual $150 OpenTable credit. That's one way to do it. If you want to be a little bit more selective than just OpenTable, because, hey, lots of restaurants are on OpenTable, there'd be breakage. Okay, cool. $150 in the Visa dining collection of OpenTable. Little bit smaller pool, little bit higher end restaurant, 150 in the first half of the year, 150 in the second half of the year. Honor anyone who presents a receipt, and don't be dicks. Leverage the Infatuation, leverage and Zagat. Leverage the guidebook that you bought. You own it, right? You can set up deals with these companies. I'm seeing, like, you're starting to see offers in the Chase website and Chase offers of DoorDash plus Target, get an additional 5% off. DoorDash plus Dollar General, get an additional 10% off, up to $20. DoorDash plus insert grocery store here, get an additional X amount cash back on your order. So not only are you getting the $10 credit, you're also going to get like an additional $10 off. That is ways to drive value on with your partnership. You own the Infatuation. You own Zagat. You own this little corner of like dining influencing and where should I eat when I travel. You own it. Reward people who are going to give people an incentive to use it with either rewards or credit. And you can make it semi-annual. You could just give them a $300 pot of food to go forth and consume. The current credit is trash. You need to fix the current credit. You need to not be taken to small claims court from people on Reddit. You need to have a credit that gives people confidence to use the credit. Like, the stories that are leaking out about issues with Chase Dining, like, it's not getting out to the general cardholders, and I get that. But if it's getting out into like travel blog communities, right, and there's posts about it on Danny the Deal Guru, or if it were to get to Frequent Miler has a far larger readership than Danny the Deal Guru, not by leaps and bounds, but like, it's bigger than Danny the Deal Guru. Like, folks will know what Frequent Miler is. Folks will know what the Points Guy is. If they're reporting on it, you have a problem that you need to fix because you made the problem with your arrogance. Fix it. Anything on OpenTable should be part of the $300 credit. Honestly, that is the easiest fix. You want to make it a little bit narrower? Visa Dining. I think you should do more with the Infatuation. I think you should incentivize people to use the Infatuation to plan their dining as part of their trip, as part of an all-suite with Chase Travel, because, I don't know, synergy might be an idea. But what do I know? I'm just some schmuck on the internet who talks about your credit cards and is trying to root for you when you're not doing dumb shit. Don't do dumb shit. Because the Reserve relaunch was some dumb shit. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. If you like what I do, hit the subscribe button down below. Check out the Stack Your Points Discord, stackyourpoints.com. Check out the Stack Your Points podcast. I record that with Lonnie, RJ, Tariq, and Craig. Check out Beard's Banter. It's a podcast I do with RJ. We talk about Star Trek. And finally, check out the pinned comment for ways to support me outside of YouTube. 2 more videos are going to pop up over my head, and a link to Bridge Banter is going to be over the top. Stackyourpoints.com. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.